What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're breaking down the upcoming 7-star Water Terra Dondozo raid for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This is one of the few raids that actually isn't a starter, so this is actually pretty exciting. I will say that Dondozo is definitely one of the harder raid mons out there, as it is one of the hardest 6-star raids. So I can only imagine how the 7-star raid is going to go, but we are going to be breaking down the best builds that you should build to defeat this Dondozo from attackers and supporters. And of course, guys, if you like my type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam by hitting that join channel member button below. So diving right into it, Dondozo is a crazy Pokemon. This Pokemon has a base 150 in its HP stat, 115 is the defense stat, and a 100 attack. So this is a very physical oriented Pokemon. Now, what we're going to exploit against this Dondozo is it has a terrible special defense of 65. So we're going to be using special attackers to break down this sushi fish. Also, it's only 35 speed, which means we're always going to be pretty much outspeeding it with every one of our options. And it also can make itself slower by using Curse as well. Now, it is going to be Terra Water, and it's going to have the hidden ability Water Veil, so we cannot burn the Dondozo, sadly, which would be actually huge if we could, but unfortunately, we cannot burn it and nullify its attack. Now, looking at the physical moves, the 3 moves up here are actually moves from its 6-star variant. So Wave Crash is going to be the strongest water move it's going to have, which is going to do a little bit of recoil damage to itself. Order Up is a signature move, it's a Dragon-type move, 80 damage, but because there's no Tatsugiri here, it's not going to be getting any boost from it. So this is actually a good move to see. Then we have Heavy Slam, another move that isn't too scary unless you're like a rock type, which you already be losing the Wave Crash, or a fairy type. But I'm not too afraid of these 2 moves. It's really Wave Crash that's the main scary one. Now for other physical moves that I can have, Earthquake is definitely one that is terrifying, because this is going to hurt a lot of our electric options, which are the best Pokemon usually to beat this Dondozo. So Earthquake is a move we need to consider, but there are ways to get around it in general. It can also have Double Edge, another really strong neutral move here. And then Avalanche is going to be really good against Dragon-type options because it's always going to be getting hit second. So it's going to be able to do that 120 boosted ice damage, which will hurt a lot of the good Dragon options out there. So I have a bunch of different options that are built around, like, let's say if it doesn't have Avalanche, then Dragons will be decent. Let's say it doesn't have Earthquake, then Electric Mons will be decent. So we have a lot of builds for different routes for this Dondozo. Now, it doesn't have a big moveset for setup, but Curse is the one that is really scary, increases attack and defense by 1 and lowers its speed. This is a very scary move. If this move ends up just happening whenever, like on its turns, it can get on turn 2, it can hit that +4/+4. This is really terrifying. And Pokemon that can remove status effects are going to be, or status upgrades are going to be really huge for that supporter role, like a Clear Smog or something like that. Yawn is terrifying. However, there's a good counter to Yawn with Electric Terrain or having an ability like Vital Spirit. And then Rain Dance to further boost its water damage. I don't think it's going to have any special attacking moves. None of its raid 5 or 6-star ones have any, so I think it's going to be all physical. Now for our best attacker. So Miraidon is the best electric attacker to defeat the Dondozo. And we're going to go Terra Electric with the item Metronome. So we're going to go max special attack, max defense with a modest nature, and our ability is going to allow us to get an additional damage boost to our electric attacks, and we set up Electric Terrain, which is going to give us a further boost to our electric attacks. And because we set up Electric Terrain, we cannot go to sleep to Yawn. Now, the big issue of Miraidon is if the Dondozo does have Earthquake, a +3 Earthquake, if it sets up curses, will one-shot the Miraidon. So keep that in mind. And so if that's a factor into this, then you're going to need some Intimidate partners in the solo. However, if it doesn't have Earthquake or you have a lot of Intimidate partners, then Miraidon is going to be pretty fantastic for the solo run. It will be great on the online builds if you do have just some supporters who have Chilling Water and things like that. But the general setup for Miraidon here is you have Metal Sound to pop up in the beginning, so you can do like 1 or 2 of these Metal Sounds. Hopefully they hit because they're 85% accurate. You can set up Electric Terrain whenever you need to, whenever your terrain goes away. And then pretty much you're just going to spam Parabolic Charge after you get a couple of Metal Sounds down. and just keep on doing this until you eventually win. I mean, it's going to be stab super effective, electric terrain boosted as well, and you know, you get 50% of your HP back from the damage done. So if you get any metal sounds, I would say at least one metal sound drop, and then just go for parabolic charge with the item metronome, it's going to stack up 5 times. You do 5 parabolic charges in a row, that's essentially going to double your damage output, which is going to be huge, and you get all your HP back. And then you just want to get that Terra Electric off as quickly as possible. You can also go for Reflect in this last slot too. You could go like maybe turn 1 Reflect, turn 2 Metal Sound, turn 3 Parabolic Charge. You can survive 2 Earthquakes pretty well if it doesn't have Curse, so keep that in mind. Now, Belly Bolt is very similar build. Belly Bolt is actually very great too if you don't have Miraidon access with the item Metronome. Same thing though, max special attack, max defense with a modest nature. Whenever we get hit, our next electric attack is going to be doing bonus damage, and that bonus damage is quite significant. Now, the big thing that Belly Bolt has over Miraidon is you have Acid Spray, which goes through shield, so you can lower that special defense at 100% accuracy, which is pretty huge. And you also have Chilling Water, so you can use this to lower the physical attack of the Dondozo too. If it doesn't have Curse set up, then you can actually probably go for like a turn 1 Reflect and then like turn 2 Chilling Water and just lower that physical attack. And then you can just Terra, Acid Spray, Parabolic Charge. Now, if you want to remove a move, you could remove Reflect here and put Electric Terrain, so you don't have to worry about going to sleep if it does have Yawn. So there's a lot of flexibility on the Belly Bolt setup, so just adjust appropriately to whatever the final moveset ends up being, but you can counter that Yawn setup with Electric Terrain. Now for some grass options here, Appleton's actually going to be really good. You quad resist water, which is very nice, so you have that. You also resist Earthquake. You are going to be weak to Order Up, so that's the same shared thing with Miraidon. You're going to be weak to the Dragon move, but you actually have ways around that, and we're going to have Shell Bell. So we're going to go max special attack, max defense with modest nature. Thick Fat is actually pretty nice. It's going to make it so ice type moves aren't going to be 4 times super effective. It's going to be instead 2 times super effective. So if it does have Avalanche, it's going to actually, you're going to take it a little bit better. So the goal here is to set up Iron Defense a couple times in the beginning. So maybe turn 1 Iron Defense, turn 2 Iron Defense. And then from there, you want to spam Apple Acid and just lower that special defense, get your HP back and build up your Terra Orb, and then Terra, go into that Terra Grass and just keep on hitting him, and eventually you'll win. You can set up by using Sunny Day to remove the Rain Dance, and then it's going to reduce the water damage, but also allow Growth to give you +2 special attacks, so essentially like a nasty plot. And that's going to be a really viable set here. Now, Sinistral is actually a really another good option. You're going to resist the water moves and the ground moves that could potentially come out, and you're also immune to like a double edge if that thing has it too. We're going to be running Metronome with max special attack, modest nature, and max defense. I just have Heat Proof on mine. I don't think Dondozo even has a fire move, so it doesn't really matter what your thing is. But what's really cool about this is you can set up your Iron Defenses in the beginning, and you actually have a really high physical defense stat. So you can set up like 2 Iron Defenses, and then from there, if you need to get HP back, you can use like String Sap. It will lower the Dondozo's attack by 1, and you'll get all your full HP back. This will not work through shields, but this is going to be a nice quick heal. So if you're like in an emergency heal range, Strength Sap in the beginning is going to be very strong. So once you do like 1 Strength Sap after like 2 Iron Defenses, I imagine you would probably set up either a couple of nasty plots or you go for Matcha Gotcha. Just really depends how the raid is going to go when it debuffs us or removes our buffs in general. But Matcha Gotcha is our signature move. It is a better Giga Drain and does 5 more damage than Giga Drain. Unfortunately, we cannot burn the Dondozo of his hidden ability, but it has only 90% accuracy, so you could remove Matcha Gotcha for Giga Drain. That is going to be a very viable strat, but, you know, I'm just going to showcase Matcha Gotcha here, because it does do a little bit more damage, but it can miss, which is definitely can be devastating. So Giga Drain is the safer route here in general, too. Now, for something a little bit different, Slowbro Stored Power Set, the classic, with Terra Psychic and the Shell Bell. Now, we have really high defenses and HP in general, which is great. So we have max special attack, max defense with a modest nature. Oblivious doesn't really matter too much here, but the thing is, you are water type, so you are going to resist Wave Crash already, which is nice. So you're going to set this up by going for Iron Defense a couple times in the beginning, so maybe like 1 or 2 Iron Defenses. And then after that, you probably want to go for Chilling Water to build up your Terra Orb. You just want to wait out until like it removes your stats, because it's going to remove your stats at some point. So I don't want to invest too heavy in the beginning. So, you know, Iron Defense once or twice, Chilling Water 3 times, just get your Terra Orb, then he removes your stat buffs. And then once again, go back, Iron Defense, Iron Defense, Iron Defense, Nasty Plot, Nasty Plot, Nasty Plot, Terra Psychic, Stored Power, and you might be able to get a one-shot. So that's going to be absolutely huge if that works out, but I definitely am a big believer in Slowbro, and I think a lot of people already have the Slowbro built from my previous video. Now for our best supporters, and I do want to mention that the Belly Bolt that we just showed off as a special attacker can also be just adjusted, make it max defense, max HP, and that can be a phenomenal supporter as well. So definitely don't sleep on that. Same with the Sinistcha we showed off. But for the actual supporters, I think Clodsire is actually phenomenal. I went Terra Poison with Shellbell. You probably wouldn't even necessarily Terra with this, but you can if you want. Max HP, max defense with a bold nature. Hidden ability on it's going to be Water Absorb, I believe. So Water Absorb is going to make it so you get HP back from Wave Crash, so you're just not worried about that. And you have Chilling Water, Mud Slap, and Acid Spray. So lower the attack, lower the accuracy, lower the special defense, and then use Helping Hand to boost your attacker's damage by 50% for a turn. Honestly, Clodsire is going to do phenomenal stuff in the supporter role here. The only issue is if it does have Earthquake on Dondozo. But if it does, well, Mud Slap, you can dodge an Earthquake, and Chilling Water to lower that damage, which will help everyone. Honestly, I think 3 Mud Slaps on the Dondozo, and you're going to be in a great spot for the entire raid as an online supporter. Now, Wheezing is going to be phenomenal here, and you can put Shellbell on this. You can put Cover Cloak. It doesn't really matter what you put on the Wheezing, honestly. Levitate. So, essentially, you're not going to be weak to any Earthquake stuff, which is going to be awesome. Now, you will be, like, taking big damage from the Wave Crash, so I would recommend max HP. Ignore the max special defense. I just didn't change mine yet. But max HP, max defense with a bold nature is what you want on the Wheezing here. And you have the Sun. So if you are worried about Wave Crash, you can set up the Sun immediately and just reduce water damage for 5 turns. So that's going to be incredibly helpful to everyone. And you also have Taunt, so you can prevent the Dondozo from using both Yawn and Curse. So a turn 1 Taunt is going to be incredibly helpful. Then turn 2 Sunny Day. And then whenever it does set up its stats, you can just use Clear Smog. It will go through shields because it does damage, and it'll remove all the stat changes on the Dondozo. So that's going to be absolutely massive. And then Acid Spray to help all the special attackers we just showed off to make it even easier to knock out. I actually do think Wheezing might be the best support here because you have every single option that you need. Just remember, max HP, max defense, bold nature, you're good to go. Next up, I think the Quillfishes, both Hisuian and regular, are going to be phenomenal. Hisuian is better because you have Eviolite, and you know you can Terra Water out of your poison. So if you has Earthquake, you're not going to be weak to Earthquake. Just have that Terra Water going on. And you have Intimidate on both the Quillfishes, which is great. So immediately you're just going to drop that Dondozo's attack by -1, which is going to be awesome. So max HP, max defense with a bold nature, and very similar stuff to the other ones, right? So Acid Spray to lower the special defense to help out your special attackers, Chilling Water to lower that physical attack, and then Acupressure to boost one of your allies' stats by +2. Hopefully you get like a special attack boost or a physical defense boost or an evasion boost. But you probably won't be doing this too often. But if you are with a Stored Power Slowbro, this is going to make Stored Power do even more damage. So this is a perfect partner for that Slowbro build. And then your only attacking move is probably going to be Barbarage. Barbarage has a high chance of poisoning, and if they are poisoned, it's going to do double damage. And this is going to be good because, you know, you get those slight ticks of damage even through the shield with the poison. So overall, I think these are going to be the 3 best supporters. There's going to be other great supporters too. As already mentioned, Sinistcha and Belly Bolt can be built as supporters for my previous special attacking attackers there. So definitely check out that section of the video if you haven't. But I think overall, this is going to be a very easy raid. Just got to bring the right builds. And we will have a one-hit KO strategy video coming very soon to the channel. So make sure that you are subscribed, hit that bell so you don't miss that video. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.